Good morning, and welcome to blustery Winnipeg. And it's supposed to continue like this for the rest of the day. But I guess I shouldn't complain about my problems. I guess, according to Aussie Frenchmen in Australia, they've got bigger problems than I got here. So, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be always complaining about the weather. A little bit of snow. Well, funny thing, this morning I looked in my surveillance monitor a little while ago, and I could see something really big right by my door, but I couldn't quite make out what it was. And when I went outside and opened the door and looked, there's a big, huge inflated bag. And my neighbor was over with Missy a while ago and says, I happened to be looking out my window and I saw it coming. I guess it blew down the street and decided it was going to come and visit me. Maybe it heard I was giving out dog cookies or something. Anyway, all right, let's change the subject a little bit here. Do you remember about 2 years ago when we were starting to do the Rodney, and I was trying to decide what color to paint the outside of the hull, because the Rodney was a little bit of a darker color from what I understood. So I went on the Tamiya's website, and I was looking at their paint swatches, and I thought the 56 looked pretty good. And well, it turns out that the 56 was, when you painted it, it actually didn't look at all like what the swatch said. Like this right here is the 56. Okay? Now, I was wondering, what are we going to use to paint the deck inside the submarine? And I was thinking that, you know what? The 56 might look really good on a textured deck. For instance, you probably can't see it from there, but the deck is textured a little bit. And I think it would actually look pretty good, and it's sort of a metallic color, and the deck would have been metal. I don't think it would have been carpeted. I know the pictures that are in the color call out here, that it shows it almost looks like brown carpeting, but it's not. Anyway, I'm sort of leaning towards that. I think it might look good if I was to spray it on. And it's in being as it's Tamiya, I'd have no trouble replacing it here in Winnipeg. It's not like the hobby, Mr. Hobby paints that seem to be rather scarce here in Winnipeg for some reason. Oh, one more thing. On this little part right here that has the 3 little control wheels, we got 2 of them on yesterday, and I got to put the 3rd one on. But the way that they want me to mount it just doesn't match up. I'll put the macro lens on and I'll show you. But model maker Paul made a comment about he said I would have drilled the holes bigger for where those other 2 went in, or he said something like that. And I was thinking yesterday, yeah, that's right. I was thinking I should maybe, instead of cutting the shaft off of the little wheel and gluing it on this little stub, you know what? I should have the macro lens on so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, sunrise? Nope, not going to happen again. Especially today. Although, mind you, it is fairly light for the type of weather we're having. But I got some pretty good drifts out there in front of my car, believe it or not. Yeah, it's really light, fluffy snow, and when you get light, fluffy snow and wind, you end up with big drifts sometimes all over the place. And I haven't looked behind my house. Usually behind my house is where we get the biggest drifts, and they last way through until May. Okay, we weren't going to talk about the weather anymore. recompose here, and maybe we'll try and get this little part ready, and then I'm ready to paint all these things. I got them mounted on little alligator clips and what have you, and we're ready to paint them. I think I'll be painting most of them in fact, all of them with the brush. But this part here, I think I'll probably spray it. I think I'll get a much more even coat. At least that's the plan. Okay, let's get at her. Okay, now according to Trumpeter's instructions here, this wheel is supposed to mount on this little stub that you see sticking out. But there's, as I mentioned yesterday, there is no hole or anything there for this to mount in on. So what I'm wondering is that what if I was to take and maybe sand this stub down just a little bit, make it flat, and then drill a hole in there the same size or maybe slightly bigger than the shaft coming out of the wheel. And then I might be able to put it in. It might be kind of fun to see if I can actually do that. I think I'll take my fine sanding stick and just sand on this thing more square so that the bit won't slip off of it. Maybe I'll use a pin to sort of make a countersink. Anyway, that's the plan. Okay, I'm going to have to hold it somehow from the back. I think that's got it. Oops. Okay, I'm going to have to recompose here probably. There is a slight dimple in there now. Maybe I'm going to have to take this off camera and do it. Yeah, I'm going to take it off camera. Okay, I know that I normally would... Is that overexposed? Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, normally I would show myself measuring the shaft of the wheel, but I didn't. And this bit here is what I believe to be just slightly larger. The only thing is I'm noticing now, looking at it, that it might be too big and it's gonna, it's not gonna want to go in. But let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, well, I guess it doesn't work. We kind of got it. It did slip off. Let me brush that off very gently here. Okay. Well, as long as we're camera's running and we're all focused, let's grab a wheel and do a dry run here. Going in? I can't see it. You can see it. I can't see it. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Okay, well, as long as we're got the camera running and we're all in focus. Yeah, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Let's get a little bit of extra thin on there. That didn't really fall in the hole, did it? Okay, I'm just going to try and reposition myself here a little bit. Oh yeah, I can see better now. trying to get that to wiggle its way down. Okay, I think that's at about the right angle. Let's just let that cure. Dry. Now, I've been getting, you might say, complaints from viewers that when I talk to my cell phone, their cell phone is responding. So I'm going to try something different today. Now, very carefully with this thing, very carefully. Where am I going to put it? I'll put it over here. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll dub out and yeah, because if I didn't say it because my phone would have responded. But anyway, I'm gonna dub that out, and I think you get the idea. Here we go. Set reminder for 12:55 p.m. today.
All right, today at 12:55 p.m. What's the title?
Watch Oz Scale Modeling at 1 o'clock.
Sure, I'll remind you today at 12:55 p.m.
Okay, hopefully that worked. So, yeah, we don't want to upset the viewers who have Google on their phone. Okay. At the beginning of the episode, I was talking about painting the decks with the 56. I was thinking afterwards that I might be smart to find all the decks and paint them all at the same time. I think I'll probably end up saving paint. I should have enough, as near as I can remember. This one is brand new. This one has a little bit in it, but it is greatly thinned out. I can't remember why I thinned it out that much, but I did. It should still work. There's probably about 2 milliliters left in there. But like I say, this one I believe is brand new. It doesn't have anything indicating on the outside that I've opened it or thinned it or anything like that. So, okay, yeah, I think that, and this is the texturing that I was talking about. Okay, we are almost ready to paint our little parts here. And this piece here, it actually goes right on here like this. And I just want to see where can I grab it now with the tweezer, because where the tweezer is holding on to it, unless I rig something up that comes up the back in the hole, maybe I could do that. I was thinking maybe grabbing it on the bottom here where nobody can see, but I wonder if there's a way that I can, put something up on the inside there to hold it. Yeah, that might work. Yeah, that might work. Now our friends Don and Bridget did come by, and they were pretty much on the regular time. I was sort of wondering, is it possible that the city went through with a tractor and plowed the bike path? I don't know. They might have, because they were on time. Okay, clearly that's way too big to fit in that hole. See if we can just cut this down here now. This may or may not work. Not on camera, it's not, is it? I'm just going to take it off camera and trim it down. Okay, clearly that's pretty ragged, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like. Main thing is that this is going to fit inside. I'll probably use some extra thin quick setting just to hold it in place. I don't want to make a mess of the inside, because this has to fit over that little square positioning box, doesn't it? Now, I did hook up my new modem last night, and it was really easy, much easier than the one before. All I had to do was just, screw the coax cable into the back and plug it in, and wait for a few minutes, and it initialized itself, and hooked up the Ethernet cables for the computer, and that was it. It's simple. And then, of course, I had to do the new password for my cell phone. But other than that, it's went really well. Now, the ping tests on the left are from yesterday, and the ones on the right are from this morning with the new modem. In other words, yesterday's is the old modem, the ones on the right are the new modem. And you can see there's a significant difference in upload speed. Now, I'm wondering, is the upload speed going to be noticeably different? Maybe on today's episode, I'll time it, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay, now this piece here is Z20. I'm thinking that possibly it's some kind of a light. It actually plugs in right there. Don't know if I can get it on camera or not, but you can see where it plugs in here. And it almost looks like here is a switch of some kind, an electric wire that goes down and around and turns it on. And we were thinking of maybe putting LED lights, remember? And but this might be a real difficult place to run an LED light. It might be just one of those lights that we are not going to replace with LEDs, because the other side of this bulkhead, I believe, is open. I don't think there's anything on the other side there that I can, run the line sort of out of sight. I mean, that's my plan, to run the lines out of sight, if possible. So we might just glue that in place, which means that I'm almost sure this is supposed to be a light. Although, why would it be so close to the deck? I suppose there's a reason for it. Anyway, if it's going to be a light, then this bottom part should be painted some sort of white or something. Okay, all our pieces now are mounted in such a way that I should be able to paint them. All being well, as long as I'm careful, I won't be breaking them loose. And I guess I better close this up before I end up hurting myself here. These are really handy. I've mentioned before, they break really easy, but if you need really inexpensive, high-quality drills, that's these. Okay, what do I want to do here now? I've got the painting to do, but it's getting on this afternoon. I'm thinking of maybe calling today's episode quits here, and maybe I'll work on it a little later today. I'm expecting an important delivery to come to the door, and I don't want to miss it. Not that I can't see it by looking just straight out the window while I'm sitting here. I realize that, but anyway. I guess I got that on my mind. So I think our painting's going to have to wait until the next episode, and then I can take my time and do a good job on it. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.